Putting on pants, putting on pants, putting on pants, putting on pants. Hello Snack Pack, welcome back to Travel Snacks. Today's episode is all about taking care of your back while living in a vehicle. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you all the stretches I learned during the 6 weeks I was in physical therapy. If you're not sure why I was in physical therapy, go watch this video and you'll see that on my travels, I was not taking care of myself and I tweaked my back really bad. Ever since then, I've been diligent about stretching every day and it's helped tremendously. Now, before I jump into this video, I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there that I am not a medical professional. I am not a physical therapist. I am just sharing my experience of what's worked for me. These are the stretches that I learned in physical therapy. As of today, I am feeling a lot better. I still have a sore back, of course, because my discs are compressed. But by doing these stretches every day, it's really made a difference. So let's jump right in. Every morning I just get up first thing and just start doing these stretches so I can get it out of the way. It doesn't take very long. I for sure do it every morning, and then in the middle of the day in between editing or traveling or whatever, and then at night I try to do a few more of these stretches. So the more you do it, the better your back's gonna be. Before I get started, I want to give a huge shout out to my physical therapist Andrew and the other staff there, Alice and Addie, and all the other people that helped me through the 6 weeks in physical therapy. And the two areas that were most important for me to work on was my upper back and my hip mobility. I tend to do everything from my lower back. I needed to work on moving my upper body and keeping my lower back stationary, and then my hip mobility so that this would open up and I guess take on more of the stress. Also, look this up, the psoas muscle that goes through your pelvic and down your leg, that was super tight on my body. And also the piriformis, which is another thing that needed to be stretched as well. I'm not going to do them as many times as I usually do them. Just do them to your comfort. So here we go. Take my shirt in. Stop being sloppy. Step forward. You can do this in a doorway, and whatever foot is going forward is the way you're going to want to turn. Trying to keep your hips stationary and turn to get this upper mobility going. And I try to look back as far as I can without hurting. And then while I'm here, I put this foot forward, and so the leg that's in the back is the same arm that goes up, and you just put it up against the wall and you keep straight, and then you just dip your hip down. And so you're basically just stretching this whole area. You feel it right in your hip, at least I do. Foot is right in front of the other foot. Also, I just realized that my socks are on the wrong feet, which is just fine. Back it up. Hey, once you back your finger up to the subscribe button, become part of the snack pack. Also hit the notification bell, throw a like on it, and keep watching until the end so you can see all the stretches that can help your back. Try to keep your front foot on the floor. The next one is a stretch to stretch out this, I think it's the psoas muscle. So the way you can do it at home is with a chair in a doorway or whatever. I just do it on my bed because I don't have a chair in here. So I just put my foot up on the bed. You're supposed to put a block, like a angled block or a towel underneath your foot. I'm too lazy, so I don't do it. Lean forward as far as you can, and you'll feel it right in this muscle right there. Oh, just do it like 5 or 10 times, whatever feels good. Whatever you do on one side, always do on the other. So my leg is kind of far back, and as farther back as you go, the more stretch you get. And then to add to this while you're doing it, when you lean forward, well, it's easier in a doorway because you can hold onto the doorway, but I just basically do this because you're trying to get that movement in your upper back. And then the same on this side. The next one is one that I usually do with a foam roller at the physical therapy office, but I don't have a foam roller. But what you do is you take the foam roller and you put it up against a wall, and then you put your forearms on it and you roll up. I just put my arms up here, and then I just put my face basically into the curtain. And this is just basically getting these arms to go back for the upper back mobility. You don't have to switch legs, but I do because I just like to keep it even. And I try to get my face as far forward as possible so that I can get my shoulders back as far as possible. So with the foam roller, you'd be rolling up like that. It shouldn't be this exhausting for these basic stretches, but here we are. Next, when I first started, I started using this sink, but I realized that we built this in here and I don't want to keep pulling this forward. So now I use the back of my seat, which is right here. And all you're gonna do is grab the sides, squat down, put your head down towards your knees, and just sit back. And this just feels so good. And this just really stretches out your spine. And the more you put your head down and the deeper you go, the more stretch you get. And then you go to the side and then to the other side, which is a little harder because the door's in the way. And the other thing is I can still use my sink and just not pull as hard. So just squat down. And then this side. One of the main things that I'm not happy with is that because my back is so stiff, I have a hard time putting pants on, which sounds like I'm an old lady, but I'm just keeping it real. I can't really lift my leg high enough to get the pants on. So these are a couple things that I just invented to help my body to kind of learn that movement so that it's easier. I hold on to something until I strengthen my core a little more. I just go down like a squat, but I go all the way down and then just up. Basic. And this also gives my knees some movement. When I first started this, I was going down really slow and it was very hard to get back up, and so I would have to hold on to something. So now I do hold on, but it's easier, and it does give you a little sweat, at least for me. And then I squat down like this, and then I lift my knees like this to mimic putting on pants, putting on pants, putting on pants, putting on pants. And then I try to go lower and bring my knees higher, and then also stand up, bringing my knees higher. In just a couple months, it's gotten a lot better. Woo! One more thing that I kind of invented, and then I'll tell you something at the end that I haven't done yet, but I'm gonna plan on doing, and then it's gonna be a wrap. Throw my leg up on the bed like this. My leg is like this, and my other leg is like all the way diagonal back. And when you lean back, you feel a stretch, but when you lean forward, you get a stretch in your glute muscle, and it shows you basically how tight your glute is. And then the more you lean forward, the deeper the stretch. And I just sit here for like a minute or two. This isn't part of it, but another thing that I started doing was push-ups on my bed. So I have a little wooden piece down here. I just have been trying to do a couple push-ups. I can strengthen my arms. 2 or 3, maybe 4 sometimes. Okay, so the next 2, I don't do these as much, which I know I need to. Get these bands, and I've tried out a couple of these, and some of them are really cheap and weak, but I found these on Amazon, and these are actually pretty good quality. You could do these around your ankle or your knees. The knees is a little easier. It's a very small space in here. You're just staying straight and you're moving. It's so hard. I only get 2 steps here. Go down, move. This helps your hip mobility, but you got to keep your feet straight. Don't be like leaning like this. Staying straight, feet straight, like this. And that is a good little kind of workout too. Next one, probably should wear shoes with this one, but I really don't. Put this on the ground, step on it. Now I'm gonna go forward. You're not gonna be able to see this part, but step on it, put this. It's easier with shoes because it'll keep it tighter. You put this in between where your hip and your pelvic area meet. Put your leg up. And so it's right here. And then all you do is lean forward. And this apparently trains your hip flexor or something. I don't know what. Those are easier to do maybe outside. I'm sweating. I just put my leg up here. And you're basically wanting this leg to be straight and this leg back here to be as up and down as possible. So your knee should be pointing straight down. And then if you lean back, you'll feel the stretch coming up like this. And also if you do a little knee dip and then bend back, that's even stronger of a stretch. That little bend, try to push your knee back towards the bed. I don't know if that explains it right. Once you start doing it, you'll feel it. So this one, lean back. So you can see my foot in the back there. Lean back, and then dip with this leg. And then this one's an even deeper stretch. Another thing, if you want a deeper stretch, what I've started doing is kicking my leg all the way back. Lean back. That one hurts a little bit more. So don't do anything that's gonna hurt, but just like that little bit of motion, stretching this out right here is very helpful. And if you go into a little knee bend, it helps. The next one is a very basic one. It's harder to do on my bed because my bed is higher and my feet don't touch the ground. You can do this on any chair. You just put your ankle on your knee, foot flat on the ground, and then push down. Try to keep this butt cheek, the opposite butt cheek on, and then push down. And you should feel it over here. So you're basically just stretching that glute. Obviously this bed isn't the best because I'm angled down. So what I started doing instead, just standing, putting my ankle on my knee, and then doing a sit, and then pushing down. And that gives me the same stretch, but even better. Try to put your ankle on your knee like that. And try not to lean over. Try to stay over here. Woo! The last one I'm going to show you, one of my legs was longer. I bought this. This is actually a plunger from the Dollar Tree. I didn't take the plunger part. I just bought the stick for $1. And you lay down and you put the stick under one knee, put the other part of the stick on top. So bring this knee forward, this knee back, and make a resistance. And that helps shift your hips. Now I'm sweaty. Oh my goodness. Also drink your water. Oh, just a quick thing in terms of your neck. Put your hands like this. Sorry, did I shave my armpits? I don't know. Put your hands like this. Keep your head looking straight, and then try to pull your hands back away from your head. And this pinches your shoulder blades in like this to get rid of that dowager's hump or whatever it's called, and just not have like such a hunch. And I forgot to show you this. This is a cool little trick that I learned. I'm not gonna show you yet. I'm not gonna show you. There was a YouTube channel that was recommending buying this thing, so I went to go get it on Amazon, but it was like $50 or $60, and I'm like, no. So somebody in the reviews of Amazon was like, let me give you a pro tip. Go to Walmart and get a protective cup, which was like $5 or $6. It's hard on the top, you know, it's for protecting. Do this on a hard surface. I'm just gonna do it on my bed. So you put it here, lean. Where is it? You lean in between your shoulder blade and your spine, so don't get it on the bony areas. And then you're laying on a hard surface, so it's digging in, and then you can put your head back as far as you can, or you can start out with a pillow. But on a flat surface, it's really digging into that muscle. Ow! And you only need to do this like 5 or 10 minutes a day, because I sit and edit all day. And ever since I've been using this, I'm not kidding. I don't really have that lump anymore like I used to. It's not as bad. It used to be like out like this, and now it's not. This could be a good nose warmer. It's like a seashell. You can hear things from afar. One really great thing that you can do if you're out and about, if you're near a park, and they have the hanging bars, you could just grab onto the bar and just hang and let your spine, your back decompress. In a dead hang, it's stretching out your whole back. So I haven't done that yet, but I heard that's a really great stretch. I just want to encourage you that when I first started doing physical therapy, I couldn't even bend over. It was very difficult for me to do some of these stretches, and over time, they get easier. So do them consistently. When people say physical therapy didn't work for me, I kind of question in my mind, did you go home and do the stretches in between your physical therapy sessions? Because physical therapy works if you work it. Hopefully it'll help you too. Bye for now. Woo! Did I forget anything? And I'm out. That I learned through, I'm going to be showing particular order. Just as a quick side note, the things and the two areas that were the most, I should be putting your foot, so what it so get to that. Helping, this is all. So what? What am I trying to say? Back it up to the subs.